The movie Hook is the reimagining of the story of Peter Pan. In this version, Robin Williams plays a Peter Pan who has grown older and has forgotten about his adventures as a boy. Now, as an older man, his children are kidnapped by Captain Hook, and he must remember how to be Peter Pan again and travel to Never Never Land to save his kids. Hook was directed by Steven Spielberg, and it made a good profit at the theaters. However, it was the fans that really loved this film and made it the classic that it is today. Since the movie came out 30 years ago, it is time to look back at the cast of the movie Hook, then and now. As mentioned, Peter Pan was played by Robin Williams, who put all of his energy into the role and he truly made it his own. Sadly, the comedy legend committed suicide back in 2014. We talked about the career of Robin Williams in our video about the classic film Mrs. Doubtfire, and you can see that by clicking the video above. The role of Captain Hook was played by the great actor Dustin Hoffman. To me, he really was the star of the show because he was such a good bad guy, but he also had style. Many people get most excited about his scenes. Dustin Hoffman is still going strong 30 years later. In recent years, he has starred in the movies Kung Fu Panda, Meet the Fockers, and Chef. He was also diagnosed with cancer, but luckily, he beat it in 2013 and he is now doing just fine. Julia Roberts starred as Tinkerbell in the film. She was cute as a little fairy, and at one point she grows to human size. She helped Peter Pan along his journey, and she kinda had a little crush on him. Anyone over the age of 30 likely remembers Julia Roberts as being Hollywood's sweetheart back in the 90s and the 2000s, where she was in a ton of movies. She hasn't been in a whole lot lately, but she was in the movie Wonder and on the television show Homecoming, where she won a Golden Globe. This year, Julia Roberts will turn 55 years old. The role of Peter Pan's son Jack was played by the actor Charles Kormos. He was a bit of a snotty kid at the start, but he had a heart of gold, and he only wanted the approval of his father. Charles Kormos made a very good living in the 90s, as he was also in the movies Dick Tracy and What About Bob? His last movie was Can't Hardly Wait, with Jennifer Love Hewitt back in 1998. He's had a very successful life since then. He has a degree in physics, he's worked for the House of Representatives, and he is currently a lawyer in New York. The role of the daughter was played by Amber Scott. She was a cute little girl who refused to fall for Captain Hook's tricks. If you don't remember Amber Scott from anything else, then that is probably because Hook is the only movie that she ever acted in. Little is known about her, other than the fact that she is a college graduate who likely works at a job outside of Hollywood. I'd like to take one moment to thank you all for checking out my video. It really means the world to me. If you like what you've seen, please consider subscribing and clicking the like button below, as it really helps the channel, and we have a lot of great videos coming up, and you don't want to miss a thing. Now back to the show. One of the first things that often comes to mind when thinking about the movie Hook is the character of Rufio, the leader of the Lost Boys. He was played by actor Dante Basco. At first, Rufio can grate on your nerves, but eventually he believes in Peter Pan, and he even dies for him at the hands of Captain Hook. Since the movie Hook, Dante Basco has had a very long and successful career. While you don't often see his face, he has done voice work in over 40 animated films, web series, and video games, including Mortal Kombat X and Final Fantasy XIII. The character of Captain Hook's first mate, Smee, was played by legendary English actor Bob Hoskins. He's also famous for starring in Who Framed Roger Rabbit and the Super Mario Bros. Movie, among many other classic films. Hoskins starred in various films after Hook, with his last role being in the Charlize Theron movie Snow White and the Huntsman back in 2012. Sadly, he passed away from pneumonia back in 2014. Dame Maggie Smith played the role of Granny Wendy in the film. She was Peter Pan's friend as a child, and eventually she ended up adopting him. Maggie Smith was made up to be an elderly grandmother in the movie Hook, but in reality, she was relatively young at only 56 years old. Now, at age 87, she is still acting. In 2021, she was in the Netflix film A Boy Called Christmas. The role of Robin Williams' wife and the mother of the kids was played by English actress Caroline Goodall. She wasn't in the movie that much, but she was always there for her family. Over the years, Caroline Goodall continued to work. She was in the Princess Diaries movies, and she was in the movie The Cold Light of Day with Bruce Willis. Finally, you may not remember this, but the one and only Gwyneth Paltrow had a cameo appearance in the movie Hook. She played the teenage version of Wendy that Peter Pan sees during a flashback scene. Of course, we all know that Gwyneth Paltrow has continued to be in successful films, including the Iron Man movies. She also owns her own company called Goop. She is currently married to producer Brad Falchuk, who is the co-creator of American Horror Story and Nip Tuck. So there you have it, a look at the classic film Hook. Do you have fond memories of this movie? How would you rate this among Robin Williams' other great films? Let us know in the comments. Once again, we'd like to thank you for watching our video and for supporting our channel. Please like and subscribe below for more great content. Until next time, have a great day.